Howdy, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. My name is Ventus, and so this is a review video for the game. I make one for every new game that I get and make content for, and I'm going to tell you what I like about the game and what I don't like about it so far. And don't worry, no spoilers or nothing, because if you get the game and you want to experience it, I'm not going to be the one to ruin surprises for you, and I can tell you there are some surprises. Alright, so let me just get right down to it, brothers. This game is literally amazing. Now, I tried for a little bit now to find something bad about the game that I the little nitpicky stuff that I can just talk about, and I can't, right? I'm the type of person who loves a game where you're running around with a giant freaking sword, shooting magic, hacking away like a spammy submachine gun, and this game is literally that. So what I can tell you is the changes they've made from Remake to Rebirth and how they affect the game, good or bad. Okay, now the huge problem that I had with Remake was that Cloud felt too stiff and he didn't have a lot of attack animations. He literally did the same 5 or 6 attack patterns over and over, and that can get a little boring. Well, they kind of fixed it in this game. Instead of having 5 or 6, he's got 9 or 10. Now, that's not exact numbers, but he can do more melee attack-wise than he could in Final Fantasy VII Remake. They even gave him a ranged attack that shoots out of his sword like little blade beams when you dodge around and press the attack button. Now, you know all of this if you played the demo. Past the demo, though? Oh my gosh, dude, listen. I was not ready for open world FF7. It's like when I played Final Fantasy 15 for the first time way back a couple years ago when that game came out, I had an idea that that open world setting, that was going to be a prototype for what Remake could be. And I was so disappointed when Remake came out and it wasn't that. Right down to the riding of chocobos in Final Fantasy 15. Now, the world in Rebirth is huge, and they do an amazing job of letting you play in it. When Remake came out, I prayed that it would be just like Spider-Man. Just throw you in an open world and give you a lot of busy work, kind of like a lazy math teacher on Tuesday, and they did exactly that in Rebirth. I mean, it's not exactly a bunch of fetch quests, but for all intents and purposes, I'm using air quotes, for all intents and purposes, they're similar to fetch quests. Go here, fight this, report back. Normally, I would hate that in any game, but in this game, I welcome it. I welcome a reason to stay up late night like I used to way back when I was 16 playing Final Fantasy VII and just fight monsters with music on, or now in 2024 with a podcast on, and just be Cloud and just be a free version of Cloud. A Cloud that can do magic, that can sync up with his teammates, and just be a badass. Listen, this is crazy, and I haven't done this in a very, very long time. I stayed up from 7 o'clock. I woke up at 7 o'clock the day before this game came out. It came out that midnight after 7 p.m. I woke up because I took a bunch of sleeping pills because I wanted to sleep all day. I woke up at 7 and I stayed up until the midnight release. I stayed up and I haven't gone to sleep yet. It is now 7 p.m. All right, so I've been up for a full day, full 24 hours. I've been up playing this game, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I know I should probably go to sleep, but I'm not tired, I'm not sleepy, I've been pumping myself full of caffeine drinks, and I don't want to go to sleep. I didn't even want to stop to make the 2 videos that I made for the game today, and I didn't want to stop to make this review video, but I realized that I gotta make some videos, I gotta make some content on the game, but I'm just telling you, just giving you a frame of reference where I'm at with this game and how much I am actually just invested in love with this game. The game is actually perfect, and I don't want to sound like one of them, because I know what one of them sounds like, a fanboy for the game, but I can't help it. That's what I am. I lost my train of thought. Okay, I haven't seen one thing in the game that I dread too much. I put the game in dynamic mode because Maximilian Dude suggested it on the stream, and honestly, I do see it being a little bit difficult, not too difficult. I kind of agree with him, because he said on the stream that he wanted monsters to have more health so he could fight them longer, because things do tend to die, fast in this game. And similar games that are like this, I usually don't play them on hard mode. Jedi Survivor, I don't play that on Jedi Knight or Jedi Master because I don't want to get folded. So I was super afraid to put it in dynamic mode because I didn't want to get folded, because playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on hard was hard. I didn't like it. but I put it on dynamic and it's fun. All right. I was gonna make a video talking about, like, I was gonna title it something like, should you play in dynamic mode or not? And I was like, well, there's not a lot of content there. I just want to tell you like 5 or 10 things about the game. So I did some testing. I fought the Grasslands area boss on normal, and I fought it on dynamic. Listen, there's literally no difference. You get the same EXP, or at least I got the same EXP. I got the same rewards, the same guild that dropped. The only thing that was different was in normal, the boss was a little dumber, and it didn't use like its most powerful attacks as often. It still used them, but it was just dumber and it was easier to kill. But for all intents and purposes, I mean, it was pretty much the same fight. So I don't know if that's going to change once you leave the Grasslands and you get more difficult opponents, but I'm just telling you from that first boss fight, it wasn't that difficult and dynamic, and honestly, I really couldn't tell the difference if I wasn't really specifically looking for it, like, oh wait, it's doing this attack, knowing that I could just sit here and like deflect it, or like it's some real like nerd like into the game, like, you know, find, you know, it's you know. All right, okay, so I have down here, they made a lot of improvements to combat. You can perfect block and get an effect from any enemy with any character, so you can essentially spam your attacks, and if something is coming at you, you can block at the right time and keep right along moving. I can't tell you how relieved I am, because before this game I was spamming Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, where that was a thing where you could stop and you could block and you could just spam your attacks. So I'm super happy that that mechanic is still in, because I attuned my fingers. I was used to it. That's one thing. That's actually one thing that I was dreading. Like, I was trying to like not play Grand Blue Fantasy a whole lot like a few days before this game came out, because I didn't want to like mix the controls up and whatever like that. So I'm very happy that he did that, and it's very fun and rewarding, because, you know, it's one thing like in Remake when you're playing as Cloud and you're going around spamming and having fun kicking ass, and something just runs up to you and hits you, and, you know, it ruins your flow. It kind of breaks your speed. So with this new combat like that they got, I love the combat. And like I said this before, it feels like a completely different game. It's the same game, but it's a different game. It really is a different game. All right, now when it comes to graphics, listen, I'm not a numbers guy, okay? I don't really care about frame rate and 60 FPS and 30 SP. I don't care about any of that, okay? We're on next gen. We're on PS5. The game looks gorgeous. I don't care which way you look at it, all right? The game looks great. When you change it from graphics mode to performance mode, yeah, you can tell the difference. I play on a 100 or 250 hertz monitor or something like that. It's not like a 4K monitor. It's just a regular Asus monitor or something like that. So it doesn't like have the benefit of, you know, the whatever 4K. I'm gonna put this on my 4K monitor probably later on tonight before I go to sleep or something like that, and see if I can tell the difference there. But just looking at this monitor, yeah, you can tell the difference. The only thing that I can see that is different is you get more frames, all right, and that's it. And I probably wouldn't even like know what that is if I wasn't like, you know, a little bit into this, making videos and editing. It just looks like you can see them doing more. Like if he's running, you can see his arms moving more, if that makes sense. And that's it. I mean, it can kind of mess with your eyes if you've been looking at it one way and then switch to the other. You can be like, whoa, this looks weird. It's messing with my eyes. You know, that's the only thing with the performance and graphics mode. I've been using it on performance mode. I think it's fine. I could put it on graphics mode, and I'll probably think that's fine too, you know. But either or. The open world map is huge, just like how I wanted it. And whenever I saw them teasing it, and, you know, doing the E3, or not E3, but the whatever demos, they were showing the map, I was like, okay, they're showing the map being this big, but how big is it? Yeah, the map is big, okay? Like I said, I've only been on the Grasslands, and I've been doing this Grasslands crap for like 12, 13 hours, getting every single tiny thing done, and the map is huge, and I love that they made it that big. The game really does remind me of Spider-Man. It does. And it reminds me of Spider-Man. I told my friend it's like Spider-Man ×2. right? Because I played the regular Spider-Man, I've played Miles Morales, and it's Spider-Man times 2. They have a lot of little icons on the map, and these are things that you need to go and do. You need to go investigate. You need to go here. You need to go there. You need to go back here. You need to go up there to get this, to go there, to do that. It's just like that. And like, I spent the entirety of my time playing so far on the first portion, what I want to believe is the first quarter of the game, in the grasslands, doing that, completing every single task there was to complete, because I didn't want to miss out or leave anything out. Now, honestly, I could have done the bare minimum, got on with the quest, and just moved on. And, you know, looking back at it now, I hope this isn't spoilers. I mean, now that I've done everything, you're not missing anything, all right? I mean, you might be missing out on some experience. You know, that's about it. There's nothing like really like, oh my gosh, if you don't do this, you won't get that. I don't get the feel from that. You know, I mean, there are some items that you do get, but I feel like I could live without those items, at least in the grasslands part. So, if you start playing the game, if you get the game and you're thinking, man, do I need to do everything? Do I need to do all these 180? It's not 180, but there are a lot of intels to do. You don't have to. It's cool if you do, because that's the game, you know? And I want to experience this game as much as possible for as long as possible. And I don't know, maybe you feel the same way, maybe you don't. But I'm just letting you know that you don't have to do all the crap, all right? You could definitely skip some of the crap if you don't want to, and just come back and do it later if you really feel like it. Now, they do a great job of giving you no downtime. The second you finish with one quest, you're already on to another, and then another one pops up during that one, so that when you're finished with the one that you're on, you have to go and do the next one, and then another one pops up in the middle of that one, and then you see something unusual while you're doing this quest, so you have to go investigate. So you're basically urged to investigate certain things while you're doing, so you literally don't stop until it's all done, if you're like a quest person like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it was. And ordinarily, that would bug me, right? Ordinarily, that would bug me, but this is Final Fantasy VII Remake. This is the perfect game. Not Remake, Rebirth. This is the perfect game. So it didn't bug me at all. The only thing that did bug me was, like, I want to go to sleep soon, or at least I want to try to get some sleep. Can I get done with this? But at the same time, though, I really don't care. That's just how it was. I was like torn between those two things. Like, I didn't care. Like, even now, bro, I don't want to go to sleep. I want to get back on and play the game some more. All right, enough about me talking like that. Okay, now, what's good about that is they added fast travel, and I mean that in the most literal sense of the word. You open the map, pick a location, and travel there almost instantly, so you don't have to run or use a chocobo. Oh, and the chocobos. They made getting on chocobos super easy, though it can be kind of annoying, because you can call it and all you have to do is walk up to it. You don't have to press a button and your character will automatically mount it. I looked on the little options things, and maybe I'm faded, maybe it's been too long and I haven't had any sleep, but I looked through every option and I didn't see anything that said something like no auto mount on chocobo. Like, I didn't see that. So maybe there is something there, but I didn't see anything that was obvious like that. It might have been in some extra control where you had to click this and then another thing drops down, but I don't think there's anything like that. But I mean, it's cool. Like, you know, you just have to, if your chocobo is near you and you don't want to get on it, you just don't go near it, you know. Switching between your character is still the same, and they have an option to do a team-up attack with a character that's not in your... Oh, hold on. No. Well, I didn't want to say that first. Okay. While you're in open world, you can see all of your characters, all right? The ones that are not in your party still fight. Yeah. I know if you played the demo, you probably saw this already, but if you haven't, like, if you have your 3-man party, the other members of your team, they're still off in the background. You can literally turn your character around and you can see them running around. You can see them shooting the thing that you're shooting, or trying to attack, or trying to assist you in some way from the very background, and I think that's really cool. Switching between your 3-man characters is still the same, and they have even added an option to do a team-up attack with characters that are not in your 3-man party under certain conditions. I only did it once. I think it was because, like, we were about to die or something like that. Like, my characters were about to die, so they gave me the option to, like, team up or something. I don't know exactly how that really works. I didn't research it because I probably am not going to use that option a whole lot, but that option is there, and I think that is really cool. Now, I've not spoiled myself. Okay, now the biggest thing, though, is the one thing that I literally can't tell you about, and it is the story. Now, I don't know much about the story. I have not spoiled myself on the story. I've not gone to anybody's, like at the very beginning, I went to somebody's live stream. I went to Maximilian's live stream, and I only watched him play to a certain point because I was like, okay, I'm going to watch to this point. I want to see what the game is like. I want to see what they do. Be pleasantly surprised about some things, and then I stopped watching live streams, and I just started playing with myself. So, the story is probably the biggest, I don't want to say qualm. It's not exactly a qualm. It's more like a, I don't even know if there's a word for how I feel about what they did to the story. I'm pretty sure there is. Now, I'm not one of these nerds that are like, oh, they changed this and this is not canon. But at the same time, though, I'm like, wait, what's going on? If this is a remake of the game, why is this like this? Why is that like that? Or why are they doing this? Which made me, especially the intro of this game, if you have not played this game and you are a fan of Final Fantasy VII, if you know anything about Final Fantasy VII, if you've not been spoiled about the intro to this game, brothers and sisters, I tell you, you are going to be mind blown. I was mind blown. I'm still mind blown. I was on Twitter posting theories about what could happen, and I stopped and I realized, wait, somebody's going to tell you what's going on. You better shut the fuck up. So I stopped tweeting. But I do have some theories, and the one thing that I can say, and I hope this isn't spoiler too much, this is just me theorizing, putting it out there into the universe. I might be way off on this, but I really feel like this 3-game remake is not a remake of the series. I feel like it's a continuation of the original game. And when you play through the intro and you start playing through the game and you see some of the events that happen, maybe you'll get on the same page that I am. Maybe if you already seen some of these things, maybe you are on the same page. I feel like this is a continuation of the original game. I don't know. I've just seen some things. And I might be way off, though. All right, so anyways, that's going to be it for my review. Listen, I wish, because I like shitting on games. I like telling you what's bad about the game. I really do. I really do, because nobody that reviews games, they're getting these review copies, and they're getting, yum-yums to say good things about the game, and I don't get no yum-yums. So I'm going to tell you the blood raw truth uncut about the game. If it's trash, I'm going to tell you about it. And I want to tell you that something's trash about this game. I really do. But it's a perfect game. So far, the game is literally perfect. I found nothing wrong with it. Nothing at all. That's it. That's my review. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.